Hi, I'm C.C. Péan, and this is Reclaiming Your Health. Good evening, everyone. How are you? Welcome to Reclaiming Your Health on the Reclamation Project. I am your host, C.C. Péan. And you know what? I'm C.C. Péan, but I'm also Cynthia Chia Péan, for those of you who may be wondering what does the C.C. stand for, or for those of you who may know me from my Monterey Bay Academy days, my San Francisco Junior Academy days, my Oakwood days. It's me. I'm so excited about tonight. I'm excited about every time I cook with you all, but this night is really special because this is the type of dish that the kids can join in with. A lot of the dishes that we have cooked have been like, you know, something with deep frying or fire or things like this. And this is the kind of thing that you can do with your kids. This is the kind of thing that your kids can do on their own. It's really important to teach our kids healthy eating habits, and this is a great, fun way of doing that. And it's also really elevated. I mean, it's the kind of thing that as, you know, as an adult, if you're having a nice dinner, you can roll these out and people will be impressed. So it swings the full pendulum. What I love about this is that they're very easy to make, and I always talk about layers of flavor. And this, again, is one of those things that has layers of flavor. So we're taking a trip to Asia with this dish. And we are making fresh rolls. Now, some of you may be familiar with this. It's basically like a vegetable roll that is not deep fried. It is made with rice paper, and you just soften the rice paper with some hot water, you stuff it with some veggies, you dip it in a delicious sauce, and that's it. So I wanted to let you all know there are different options for your rolls. So I personally like just the plain rice wrapper. But there are different variations. And one thing I need to let you know is that you always want to look for the wrapper that has rice and tapioca starch, because that's much easier to work with, unless you're an absolute professional. I've been doing it for years and I haven't gotten there, but hey, maybe you can do it. But just a little tip. So there are several types. This is a brown rice spring roll wrapper. Okay, so this is one option. This has brown rice, cassava, water, organic green tea, and salt. So this is one option, okay? This is another option. I've purchased these, but I've never actually used them. They're huge. I kind of feel like this is the type of that you use, and there's no way you can mess up because you've got so much room for error. It's like it's huge. So this is another one. But the one that I use, and my favorite, that you can find at virtually any Asian market you go to, and in Publix, and in Kroger's, is this one. Okay? So this is the best one to use. Very easy to use, but one thing that you need to keep in mind when you use any of these is that you need to make sure that your ingredients, whatever you're putting in there, they can't be wet and runny because it's rice paper. And that moisture will make them tear. So that's something that you have to be aware of. The first thing we're going to do before we even get to that is we're going to work on our sauce. So if you saw the ingredients, I gave you 3 different options for your sauce. You can either use peanut butter, almond butter, or tahini. I guess you could use cashew butter if you wanted to. Go for it, try it. But I have found the most success with peanut butter, almond butter, or tahini. So in here, I've already got about 1/4 cup of peanut butter, smooth peanut butter. I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot water just to soften it up a bit. Okay. So I'm just mixing. If you could, I think you can see me. You don't even need the overhead shot. This is a really easy sauce to make. The easier way to make it is to just dump it all in a blender, and it would go even faster. Okay, so I've got my peanut butter in here. To that, I'm gonna add a teaspoon of ground ginger, a teaspoon of minced garlic. I'm gonna add a teaspoon of fresh squeezed lime juice. I'm gonna add some agave, about one, I have 2 teaspoons, but I'm gonna add 1 teaspoon there. And I'm gonna add some Bragg's liquid amino. So I have a question, this is a little quiz tonight. Does anybody know the difference between liquid aminos and soy sauce? There are 3 distinctive things that make Bragg's liquid amino, and soy sauce. So think about that. We'll come back to it, but I'm gonna add 1 tablespoon. I'm not gonna add 2. Now, it really depends on how you like it. Maybe you like things really salty. This roll has so many beautiful flavors in it. I really wouldn't want to mess it up too much, so this does take some elbow grease. I'm gonna just continue to mix this together. And the special ingredient that's going to go into this peanut sauce is one of my spices. I have come out with a line of spices, and this evening, one of my spices is featured in this sauce. It is my diaspora spice blend. So I have 4 items I've come out with. I have a curry that I have blended, a custom curry. I have my tofu scramble magic, and I have a diaspora chili blend, and I have maple jerk syrup. So this evening, we are going to be using the diaspora chili blend. So this is in place of, you would typically just use like some Thai chili sauce or something like that. I just had to have the motherland somehow in this dish. So this is how the motherland is making an appearance. She is coming in through my diaspora chili blend, and I'm putting a teaspoon in there. And I'm gonna continue to mix this up. And you saw me add a little bit of hot water to get it loose, and I'm just gonna add a little more. And if anybody is familiar with the smell of mafe, mafe is a peanut sauce, it's a dish from Senegal. This smells like mafe. The peanut and my diaspora spice blend together smells like mafe. And it's one of my favorite dishes. Oh, this is perfect now. So have a little hot water on the side so that you can mix this up easily. Now, I use smooth peanut butter, but believe it or not, I actually prefer crunchy peanut butter. And I'll use crunchy peanut butter for some of my sauces. So this is a smooth one, but you can always use crunchy if that's what you have in your refrigerator. And that's the great thing about this dish as well. It's basically just like you just grab veggies. You just grab veggies. There's no like rhyme or reason behind it. I gave you all a list of vegetables to use, but if you look at my plate, I have some things I didn't mention. For example, I have some marinated tofu, and I have some mango slices. I love to put mango slices in my fresh rolls. So again, I'm always talking about it. You've got the sweet, you've got the salty, you've got the spicy in one bite. What I also love about this roll is we've got mint, you've got, it's just a flavor explosion. Okay, so our sauce is ready. I'm just gonna taste it, see if I need to adjust anything. That's a good sauce. Okay, so I'm just gonna put a little bit in this little side dish. That's really good. Really, really good. Okay, I'm gonna put that aside. Put this on our plate up here. And now we're going to get to doing our fresh roll. So if you can do an overhead shot, you'll see that we have on the plate, we have some red cabbage, we have some red bell pepper, avocado, mango, mint leaves, carrot, cucumber, basil leaves, and tofu. Now, sometimes people even put cilantro. I mean, you can just literally go for it. Whatever herbs you want to go for it. And then I also have, to assist us in rolling, I have some fresh lettuce leaves, okay? But I want to show you how to prepare your cucumber, because I mentioned earlier that you don't want any extra liquid. And cucumber will definitely give off liquid. So you just simply cut it down the middle. You use a spoon, and I put my finger on the back of the spoon like this, and I just go right down the center of the cucumber. And I'm able to get all that pulp out. You cannot skip this step. Well, you can, but you'll be sorry you did. You cannot skip this step. We're going to do it on the other side. Comes clean out. Excellent. So now I'm going to thinly slice these. And the thing that you need to remember when you're working on these, your rice paper is only so round, and you have to fold in the sides. So you cannot have long pieces. The maximum length is probably about 4 inches, which is about this length here. So just say about your index finger, the length of your index finger. And you can cut this as thin as you want. I cut them kind of like a little larger than a matchstick. Now, I said you can put whatever you want to in there, and you can, but just recognize that the more stuff you have in there, it's going to be a little more difficult for you to roll it. But this is one of those things that you can just, just over time, you get better and better. It's relatively easy to do. So now I have the carrot. I'm going to cut off like a 4-inch piece. And the way I do is I just cut straight down. There we go. And again, you're cutting them just a little bit of a matchstick. So of course, this is the part, parents, unless your kids are really savvy with a knife, you want to do this for them. All right. I just love how this looks. We talk about eating the rainbow. That's eating the rainbow. I mean, you've got such incredible nutrition and flavor and antioxidants and anti-inflammatories. It's just everything. This is like a healing dish. All right. So now I have a pan here that I have hot water in. It should cool down by now, but you cannot use cold water. It needs to be warm water, just very warm. It doesn't need to be hot, but very warm. So hopefully mine has cooled down a bit. And when you take it out, you want to take a look and make sure there's no cracks or anything like that, because if there are cracks, you're going to have an issue. I know people that actually double up on them. They'll lay them kind of one on top of the other, just kind of graduated. If you want to do that, you can do that. Makes it a little easier. So you're going to completely submerge it. Move my knife out the way. completely submerge it and then lay it on this, which I know it's hard for you all to see because this is brown. We're going to take some lettuce, and in the lettuce, we're going to put all of our ingredients. So I'm going to do a little bit of my cabbage. I'm going to do a couple pieces of my bell pepper, piece of my avocado, of my mango, some mint, a couple sticks of my celery, of my carrot. I don't know my vegetables tonight. Cucumber, basil, and tofu. There we go. So there's a few different ways to do this. The way I typically do it is I lift it from the bottom, I pull the sides in, so the sides join in the center, and then I try to roll it as tightly as possible without tearing. And voila. Oh, Dawn, your all-time favorite. It's like a little perfect, look at that. It's like a little perfect burrito, like mini burrito. So that's our first one, but you will see I have a little tear here. So if you have a tear, what you can do is just double roll it because that tear will continue to grow, trust me. In your first few times, you may have this issue. So I need to let this soften up a bit. It's so economical to do it yourself as well. If you went to buy these, you know, you probably get like 3 of them for like $5, where you can buy this entire package for like, I think $2. And with whatever veggies you have at home, you can do it. Okay, so I'm double wrapping this one now. Bringing in the sides. And really the thickness that it's gonna add is negligible because this is rice paper. So that's a double wrapped one. That's what it looks like when it's double wrapped. Okay. And then, you know, you can serve them like this, or you can cut them open. I like to cut them open because then you can see how beautiful it is inside. But we're just gonna place this on the plate for now, and we're gonna keep going. So has anybody thought about my question, and does anybody have answers about the difference between liquid aminos and traditional soy sauce? Bueller? Anybody there? Melissa Mackey, do you have any idea? Dawn, do you have any idea? I don't know if Yolande Melbourne is on there. Yummy, yes, yummy. But Yolande, do you know the difference between Bragg's Aminos and traditional soy sauce? Can anybody tell me? Whoever comes up with the right answer, I'm going to send you a free set. No clue. Soy salt is salty. Okay, yes, soy salt is salty. I'm going to give you a little saltier. That's more nutrition and less salt. Okay, you guys are getting close. You're getting close. Keep bringing them. There is a significant difference to a certain population that cannot tolerate a particular thing This is why they will choose liquid aminos over soy sauce. Okay. You know, you could even do this with fruit. If you want to do a fruit roll up, there's so many different ways to do this. Okay, you've got 2 down. I'm just going to keep going. Protein. Ah, yes, Melissa. Well, partially yes, Melissa. So, Tima Bennett, soy sauce has MSG. No, not necessarily, but Melissa, you're very close. Yalan. It's gluten-free, correct. So Yalan and Melissa are closest to the answer. Soy sauce has wheat as well as soybean, where liquid aminos just is soy. So if you're somebody who has celiac disease or some kind of gluten intolerance, you cannot or should not use soy sauce. You should use liquid aminos. There's another thing that differentiates soy sauce from liquid aminos. And I want to see who's going to come up with that answer. So yes, also, Melissa, I believe you said, and one other person said that it is salty. Soy sauce is saltier than liquid aminos. It definitely is. I think my water has gotten a bit too cool for me. I have to put some more water on. Bear with me just a moment. Can anybody else tell me? Can anybody else tell me? There's something about the process and how it's made. Here's a hint. The process of making soy sauce as opposed to the process of making liquid aminos. There is a marked difference. Nope, no, no additives. I mean, that may be the case, but that's not what I'm looking for. It's something about there are no preservatives and reduces hunger in liquid meat. Okay, well, you all have taught me something, but that's not what I'm talking about. So you got to keep going. No preservatives. There is something that the process of making it. Okay. And you know what's funny about this? This is the kind of thing when I decided to make this earlier, I was like, this really seems more like a spring or summer type dish. But you know, with this whole lockdown and COVID and everything, we need healthy snacks. I can tell you personally that I just went crazy with kettle corn, thinking that that was like a healthier option. And I have been eating copious amounts of kettle corn, and my waistline told me I needed to stop. So this is the type of thing. My water is hot. I'm gonna add a bit of this. This is the type of thing that it's basically guilt-free snacking. You're satisfying your hunger and you're feeding your body nutrients. What's better than that? So I have even made this. So yes, yes, Melissa. Soy sauce is made via a fermentation process where liquid aminos are not. And you know, fermentation affects different people in different ways. But if you're somebody who's sensitive to that, you should avoid What's the I'm sending you a set of my spices. Those will be mailed out to you tomorrow. It's not fermented, right? Okay. Is anybody making these along with me, or are you just watching? And if you aren't making them, what I want you all to do, I really would love for you to share pictures on the Reclamation project page. Let us see what you've come up with, how you've interpreted the dishes that I've shared with you. That'd be fun. And don't be shy. They don't have to be perfect. They don't have to be picture perfect. That's not what that's about. I've been doing this for a long time, so that's why my things look a certain way. But we just really want to encourage you. Ooh, excuse me, my nose is itching. We just want to encourage you. You're welcome, Melissa. We just want to encourage you to cook healthier, try things out. Okay, try things out. Like I said, there's no perfect way. It's your way. We just want you to get comfortable with cooking for yourself. I always talk about convenience is killing us. We've gotten so used to being able to pick up things and just grab things and run, and we're not realizing that these things are not, those types of things are not meant for your health. They're meant for convenience. They're packed full of preservatives, and they're packed full of salt and sugar and all kinds of stuff that is just not nourishing our temple. So things like this that are easy, you'll see I've already made 4 of them and I'm talking to you. So if I was really focusing on this, I would have been done already. This is a great thing to have for your kids when they come home from school and they want a snack. Instead of giving them chips, instead of giving them Tostino pizza rolls or anything like that, this is a great snack for your kids to have. We have options. I like to say that everything, literally everything that we need, the master creator has given it to us. We just have to go out there and come up with recipes and come up with ideas, but it's all there. It's all there. So Melissa is going to get the prize. Now, I was sharing earlier that I have a set of spices that are coming out. They will be up on my website next week, ccpayan.com. That website will be shared. And thank you. And so you can go on there and you'll be able to order these spices. I think they're fantastic. I have been working on them for some time. I am obsessive about what type of butter. This is just regular, it's not oh my goodness, not butter. It's regular bib. And I think they're pretty good. I'm going to be including recipe cards with the spices so you know how to use them. The tofu scramble can be used for tofu, or it can be used for many things. If you wanted to make egg salad from tofu, you could use that. It's really great. The diaspora chili blend is great if you want to make a really good vegetable chili. You just need a spoon of that in it. If you want to add a little pizzazz to a peanut sauce like I am, then you add a teaspoon of that to it as well. You can sprinkle it in your veganaise or in your mayonnaise, and it makes a really zippy, delightful sauce for your sandwiches. So there are many ways to use it. So we have, actually I'm gonna do one more. There are many ways to use them, and they will be available next week. I'm so excited to share them with you. And before the show is over, I will thank you. And before the show is over, I will show you what they look like. Okay, so let's work on one more. I have made this with actually using basil leaves in place of the lettuce. But I actually do think this is even better because it's a guide. If this is the first time that you're making something like this, it's a guide. You can just place everything right on top and it kind of keeps everything together. Put our some mango slices on there, our avocado, got our mint. Can you just imagine what this is going to taste like? It's going to be the bomb. I always like to lay the basil out, if you notice. Yeah, thank you, Don. It is a beautiful dish. It is a beautiful dish. Okay, we did that. Pulling in the sides. Oops, lettuce got in the way there. Pulling in the sides. We're rolling, we're rolling, we're rolling. There we go. Okay, so let me dry off my hands. And let me bring the dish. So we've got, see how quickly I did that? So we're gonna take the double one off. Actually, I'm gonna cut the double one. We've got 6 of them here. We've got this delicious sauce. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna cut so you can see what this looks like inside. Of course, you need a sharp knife. Ooh, that's so pretty. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Mm. So now I'm gonna spoon some sauce over this. I may not look dignified eating this. Forgive me ahead of time. I'm just gonna put a little sauce on top. That is delicious. That is delicious. You've got great flavors in there. You've got great textures in there. There's a range. I mean, you've got actually the spicy peanut sauce. You've got the brightness from the mango. You've got herbaceous mint. You've got the warmth from basil. You've got the seasoned tofu. You got the crunch and cleanness of the cucumber and carrot. It's delicious. And if anybody's curious, the rice paper has no flavor. It literally is just a vehicle. Look at that. You can do this. I believe in you. I believe in you. Ooh. You know what's funny about me? I used to be the person that could put pepper on everything. I come from a long line of pepper eaters. I have an aunt that will start out with white pepper, I mean white rice. And by the time she goes like this with her pepper, by the time she's done, her rice is like dark pink from all the pepper. I have an uncle who eats West African pepper, like he'll eat whole peppers, no problem. I wasn't there, but as I've gotten older, my tolerance for pepper has gone way down. Like I can barely handle black pepper now. Delicious. Mm. If you don't do peanuts, you can do almond butter. If you don't do almond butter, you can use tahini. So if you do the tahini though, you do not want to use the ginger in the recipe, and there's a note of that. Mm, that was so good. So This is a finished product. These are fresh rolls. Now, what you can do is slightly dampen a paper towel, put that on top, slightly damp. That, you may be able to keep it overnight, but that's it. What will happen is they will start to dry out and they won't be good. You want to be able to, it's almost like a gumminess, the roll, the wrapper. You want to maintain that. So they're called fresh rolls, and fresh rolls are best made fresh. They're best made right before you need them. But it's easy because you can just have your vegetables prepped, get your hot water, and get to it. You could probably do a whole pack of them in about 30 minutes. And I promise you, people will, as quickly as you can make them, they will eat them. So let me just get a little close up because I want you to get an idea of the spices that will be available next week. So this is my diaspora chili blend. It's 4 ounces, but this spice is not like your other spices. You're literally going to use a teaspoon of this. If you're making, for example, a pot of chili for, 5, 6 people, you'll maybe use a tablespoon. So it's a very concentrated spice. So that's that one. Then I have my quarantine curry. Anybody who is from Guyana or knows Guyana, the quarantine is an area in New Amsterdam, going up past Berbice. My mother was a native of Guyana and she was born in the quarantine. And so this is an homage to my mother who made the best curry without question. My mother wasn't the person who would like buy curry and use it. She literally mixed her curry powder with her jeera, with her garam masala, with her amchur powder, with her coriander. She mixed all those together and made her own curry powder. So this is what this is. And again, it's strong. This is not something that you're going to, sprinkle with abandon. It's very strong. And then here's my tofu scramble magic. You see that? This is the next one that I have available. And if you're cooking a 14-ounce block of tofu, you would use a tablespoon of this. So you've got a good 4 or 5 servings in this, okay? The last one I have is my maple jerk syrup, but I keep that refrigerated. I forgot to bring it out. So I'll have that next week for you all to see it. But anyway, you're welcome. So everyone, thank you for joining me this week. I hope that you enjoyed learning how to make fresh rolls. They are a healthy alternative to those deep fried spring rolls. They're easy to make, they're inexpensive, they're delicious, and I want to see you make them. I want you all to post pictures to my Facebook page. I want you all to post pictures to the Reclamation Projects page. We want to see that you all are tuned in and that you all are trying these recipes because we're doing all of this for you. Several years ago, I started a page called Temple Stewards, and I got away from it, but this is kind of recalling that. We are given one body, and we believe that our bodies are God's temple. And so we are responsible for taking care of this temple and putting in things that are going to nourish our bodies. And when we are nourished with foods that are healthy, our thinking is clearer, we are able to understand things better. When you talk about brain fog, a lot of times brain fog comes from diet. There are other things that contribute to it as well. But I think, especially in the times that we're living in, it's so important for us to have clarity of thought and clarity of mind. So our temples and what we're eating, it's so important. And that is part of the charge. And that's why I believe part of the reason why I was asked to come on and do the show was to give people alternatives, healthier alternatives. So we did the lion's mane mushrooms instead of fried chicken. Last week, we did a vegan macaroni and cheese. And I hear several people have tried it and they like it. Please share pictures. Yes, the creative mind of Sam Royster. Sam Royster, I go way back to Oakwood College, and he helped bring me into this. Um, there's just so much we want to share with you, and this is a ministry. It's my passion, but it is also a ministry, and I thank you all for joining me. When you all send me pictures, it encourages me. It lets me know that people are paying attention, and then I go harder, and I get to be more creative and come up with new ideas. And so thank you. Thank you for joining us this evening. We will see you next week, Tuesday evening, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. Thanks for joining us at Reclaiming Your Health. Yummy, yummy spring rolls. I mean, yummy, yummy fresh rolls. Oops. Bye.